Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I am going to share with you what I think to be the strangest keto rice out there. I'm also going to share with you a very quick recipe on how to use this strange rice. And so if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, the question of the day is this strange rice a suitable substitute for traditional rice? Does it cook up like traditional rice? Does it have the texture of traditional rice? And most importantly, does it have a pleasant flavor? Let's find out. This right here is called miracle rice. Some of you might have heard of it. Some of you might even use it already. I've known about it for a while, but it's always made me nervous to try to use it because it's just weird to me. And the reason why I say it's weird is because miracle rice is packed in liquid. So when you pick up the package, it feels like a liquid pile of mush. It feels really strange, and you think, there is no way this is going to make edible rice. Not possible. But that's why they call it miracle rice. Miracle rice is also known as shirataki rice or cognac rice. It's made of cognac flour and water, nothing else, which means before it's cooked, it is incredibly delicate. So in order for it to keep its shape, it has to be packed in water and citric acid. Otherwise, it will turn into a pile of mush during the whole packaging and shipping process. By the way, this company also makes miracle noodles, which I will do a recipe using miracle noodles in the near future. Miracle rice has no net carbs, no calories. It basically contains nothing but healthy prebiotic fibers that are actually really good for your gut. So you're not only having something that tastes good, but you're having something that is actually feeding your gut good bacteria, which helps for a good, gentle digestive process. Now, cooking the miracle rice noodle is super easy. It's actually a little bit quicker to cook than traditional rice is. So basically what you need to do is preheat a large skillet over medium heat for about 3 minutes or so, or just until the skillet is hot. I'm using a 10-inch skillet. You can use whatever size skillet you have at home is just fine. You do not want to put any oil or cooking spray or anything in your skillet. You want it to be a dry skillet. Then open up the rice pouch, of course, and pour the rice and the liquid into a colander or a mesh strainer. Make sure if you're using a colander, the holes are small. You don't want the rice pieces to fall through the holes. Then rinse the rice under room temperature water for about 1 minute so that all of the packing liquid can be removed from the rice. Now, when you first open the package and you first pour it into the colander, you're going to notice a little bit of a smell, almost like a slight fishy smell. It's going to smell a little weird. That's just the cognac flour has a weird smell to it. But as you are rinsing the packing liquids off of the rice, that smell will go away. So you don't have to worry. Your rice is not going to have a weird smell or a weird taste. So just keep rinsing all that packed liquid off for at least 1 minute. Pour the rice into your preheated dry skillet. Again, make sure the skillet is dry. Cook over medium heat for 7 to 10 minutes or until the rice is no longer wet. While you are cooking this, you want to stir very frequently, preferably constantly, but if you walk away for a minute or two, it's not going to burn your rice. You really can't burn this rice. But you do want to stir it very, very frequently because it dries out a lot quicker that way. And your whole point of cooking it in a dry skillet is because you want all of the liquid that's on the rice to evaporate. Now, how long it takes for your rice to no longer be wet really depends on how big your skillet is and how hot your stove gets. generally anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes. Basically, you're wanting that rice to not be wet at all. It's going to kind of squeak a little bit when it's not wet. I know that sounds kind of weird, but when you're stirring it, you'll start hearing it kind of drag along the bottom of your skillet, and you'll hear a very slight squeaky type noise, and that's how you know that your rice is done. Once your rice is no longer wet in the skillet, you'll notice it's not going to have the exact same texture as traditional rice. It's going to come very close, but the rice particles are going to be a little bit softer than your traditional grain rice because this is made with a flour, not a dried grain. So they are going to be a little bit softer, but they still should be nice and firm and very close to the texture of regular traditional rice. Now, once your rice is dry, you can put in any seasonings, any sauce, whatever flavor you're wanting your rice to be. You can put that all in right now as soon as your rice is done drying. For this particular recipe, I'm going to make a butter herb rice. It makes an excellent side dish to salmon or chickens or anything. So I'm going to pour about 1/4 cup of butter that's been completely melted over my rice. Then stir it so that the butter and the rice can be fully combined. Add a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm using around 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Add 1/2 tablespoon of dry parsley, 1 teaspoon of dry basil, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Stir these all together until they're fully combined and all the herbs are evenly distributed throughout the butter. Then stir constantly over medium heat for another 5 minutes or until the flavors are all combined and your rice is pretty close to the texture of traditional rice. Now, if you're not doing the butter and the herb rice, again, like I said, you can put in any flavor you want just after you add whatever sauce and whatever flavorings you're adding to your rice. Then just cook it, stirring constantly for 5 minutes more. That way all your flavors can combine in with your rice. Once it's all done cooking, remove it from the heat and allow it to sit just for about 2-3 minutes. This just helps absorb the flavor a little bit more. Then place it into a serving bowl or onto your plate. Serve it warm. You can use this miracle rice in any recipe that calls for rice. If you do have any leftovers, allow them to cool completely. Then store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. When you're ready to eat it again, you can just put it into a preheated skillet over medium heat and stir it constantly for about 5 minutes or until it's heated through and it tastes just as good as new. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.